Say, baby, I love you. Sup, dope, low, show, low, home deep. What's your favorite thing from Chick-fil-A if you eat it? I just go for the original chicken sandwich. You know, that's it. I mean, either that or like the spicy deluxe. You know, but my chicken sandwich, if I ever tasted, wraps. It's over. It's over. It's over. I lie to you not. Everybody that tastes my food, good. No bad reviews. Came back for seconds, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all that. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to make it into a business called Gator Bites. Sucked up.
I'm a female, age 22, and a few years ago I used to work at a Chick-fil-A.
I'm sorry, hold on. I can't imagine Chick-fil-A having horror stories. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Anything can happen at any given time, at any given place. But it's just like, I've never heard of a situation, at least I don't think, of a cluck situation at Chick-fil-A. My pleasure, Uglass. Like, they always come off, employees always come off respectable and they come off nice. My pleasure looking ass, right? Customers, go, they good. They, you know what I mean? They straight. Never had a problem with them. Every time I've been to Chick-fil-A, it was just a nice experience. I can't really say that for, Chipotle, because I worked there for 7 years. Oh, I seen some shit.
My first ever job, and I lived with my parents in a neighborhood nearby. I would walk to and from work every day because it was only a 15-minute walk and I didn't have a car.
Well, a lot can happen in 15 minutes. A lot can happen in 15 minutes. But I guarantee you, if you haul ass that 15-minute distance, you can short it down to 5.
My parents used the only cars that we had, and part of the reason I was working there was to save enough money so that I could buy my own. I was part-time and would work all sorts of hours. Mainly, I would work in the afternoons and nights on weekdays and earlier on the weekends. On one night, probably 4 months or so after getting the job, I was working pretty late. I think I got off at like 10 p.m. and then I left the restaurant to walk home. This wasn't uncommon at all, and by now the restaurant and the area were pretty quiet. This particular Chick-fil-A was near a few larger stores and a couple of other restaurants. I would take the sidewalk to the residential area less than a mile away, and my house was back there. As I left that night and started to walk on the sidewalk, I saw this one guy that was standing out in the Chick-fil-A parking lot. Before I had started walking 10 feet, the guy began approaching me. I had never seen him before, and I didn't know what he wanted. I was still wearing my Chick-fil-A clothes, and I had clearly just left the building, so I thought maybe he had a question about Chick-fil-A. I guess that's what I was hoping, because I had a bad feeling.
Really?
The man walked closer, and then he reached me. I was sort of nervous, but I tried to act calm. When he got to me, he said hi in a friendly tone. The man said that he had noticed that I walked home every day from work, and told me that it could be dangerous to walk alone at night.
Let's just run that back. Hold on.
Noticed that I walked home every...
Go back. Hold on.
The man said that he had noticed that I walked home every day from work and told me that it could be dangerous to walk alone at night.
You watch me walk home alone every night? Wow. If the nerve for you to say it could be dangerous, like what you trying to do? What's up with you? Huh? What's going on? Why did I do that? You told me I was like I got waves or some shit. Like I got a fresh cut What's up, waves? Talking about. No, but like, what's really going on? You know? And you mad sus for even telling me that. Why would you tell me that? Why would you tell me you watch me walk home alone every night? Why would you? Alright. Alright. I've been waiting to use this shit.
He said that he wanted to walk me home.
What?
It seemed pretty weird to me. I told the guy that I was fine and I was capable of getting home by myself. I had walked home by myself countless times, many of them at night. He asked if I was sure, and I said yes. The guy seemed to...
So, my guy, why would you ask me that right now out of all the times you watched me walk home alone? This is my 612th time walking home alone. You just now asking me this? You sus. And you cahoots. And you sus hoots. And your name is probably John.
Pointed, but then sort of walked away off into the parking lot of a nearby grocery store. Then I started walking home. I kept an eye out, and the guy didn't follow me or anything. As I was walking, I realized just how weird of a situation it was. The guy said that he noticed me walking home every night. Had he been watching me? When I did make it home, I looked around to make sure I wasn't followed still. I didn't see anybody. A few days later, I worked another later shift. I got off once again at roughly 10 p.m. This night, I had been working a long time, and I wasn't thinking about the guy that I had seen the last time. He wasn't there, though. I started walking home on the sidewalk like I always did. When I made it to the end of the sidewalk on the first street, I turned and then started to go into the residential area. The streets were much darker, and there were not as many lights around. I walked past an apartment building first, and then there were many different other houses. All I had to do was walk to the end of this street, take a left, go 2 blocks, and then I was home. When I was walking past the apartment building, I thought I heard a noise. I looked over after hearing it. I saw that next to the apartment building there was a tree, and I thought I saw a guy sort of behind the tree. It was like he was hiding. His head was looking between 2 large branches. The tree was probably 15 feet away and really obstructed. I could still tell that it was the same guy I had seen a few nights earlier who was hiding behind it, though. I looked away immediately and kept walking. When I did, I was really worried that I would hear him walk on the sidewalk behind me. Luckily, I didn't, though. I walked as fast as I could back home. When I was back, I told my parents about the situation. They agreed to drive me to and from work after that. Only a few weeks later, I finally had enough money to buy a car, and from then on, I drove to and from work. I never walked to work again, and I never saw the guy again after that either. If I had to guess, I would say that he lived in those apartment buildings. That must have been how he had seen me walking home from work every single night. It really creeps me out that he probably saw me walk home many times without me knowing, especially the way that he was hiding behind the tree watching me.
Yeah. It's crazy how you didn't notice him before. It's like your red flag senses was cut off. Your cluck. Hold on, I gotta wipe my nose. What did I say? Like your red flag senses was cut off. Then I was about to say, then I laughed. I was gonna say, it seemed like, or it's almost as if your cluckadar, like radar, your cluckadar was completely offline. Like it was just off completely the whole time. Every time you walk home. And you know what sucks? He probably knows what car you drive. He knows where you work. And he knows where you live. God damn. Right.
This happened a couple of months ago. It was a weekend afternoon, and I was really hungry. I went to the nearby Chick-fil-A, which is one of my favorite restaurants.
I don't know what it is. Am I tripping? Tell me if it's me or not. But every time I see like a fast food spot, and they got like a little playground in there. Is that not a little sus? Is that not a little creepy? Is that just me? You know what I also realized? Like working at like restaurants. This number right here, it has nothing to do with the address. I thought that was the address. You know what I mean? Like the number you put like a 1122 Sky Lane, Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I mean? That is not my address. That's just a random thing that I said. But it's not. This is the number, I think this is the number of locations that they have. So this location is 3,286. Fuck.
Really craving it, but when I got there, I saw that they were very busy. The line in the drive-thru was literally going out of the parking lot, so I decided to park and then walk inside. Sometimes this is faster than the drive-thru in my experiences. When I got inside, I saw that there was a long line in there too. Lots of people were inside, and I got in line at the back. The line started moving up, and I was getting closer to ordering, but about a minute after I got there, somebody got in line behind me. When they did, they got uncomfortably close. I felt like they were invading my personal space. I could tell that it was a man and that he was really tall, but I didn't turn around and look at him. When the line moved up, he did too, and he remained a really close distance away from me.
Okay.
He wouldn't move, and it was kind of annoying. I didn't want to be rude and tell him to back up, but he was probably less than a foot away from me. I inched closer to the people in front of me. When I did, the guy seemed to move up as well. Within 2 minutes, probably, it was already my...
Yo, hopefully I remember to put this in here. At that point, like, he's real close to you. You should have did this.
Hi, ma'am. How are you today? You can back up a little bit.
to order. I walked up to the register and finally away from the guy. I ordered and then walked over and waited. As I was waiting, I looked around casually. I saw the guy who had been standing so close to me. It had to be him. There was only one really tall guy there. He was standing about 10 feet away from me now. As soon as I looked at him, I saw that he was already looking at me.
Wow.
I then looked away. The guy had kind of big glasses and short hair. Several of us were just standing around waiting for food. When my name was called, I went up, got the food, and then left. All of my frustration from the guy being really close to me and staring at me was now gone. I was just really excited to finally eat. When I walked out the door, though, somebody walked out right behind me.
God damn.
When I got outside, I noticed who it was. The tall guy that was standing really close to me. He didn't even have any food in his hands.
Chick-fil-A! Y'all experience at Chick-fil-A is supposed to be one of the greatest. Impeccable. I'm supposed to be blown away by the experience at Chick-fil-A. How the hell y'all let this slide? Y'all should lock him up on sustenance.
As I walked to my car in the parking lot, the guy walked right behind me. I unlocked my door, and as I was getting inside, I saw the man go to the car right next to mine. That was his car. I started my engine, and he started his.
Wow.
I sat there waiting for him to back up first, but he didn't. He looked over at me a couple of times, I could tell, but I didn't look over at him. I didn't want to see him. After maybe 2 or 3 minutes, both of us just sitting there in our running cars, I turned mine off. I was kind of concerned at this point, and I thought maybe the guy would try to follow me home or something weird.
Well, hey, brother. Hey, John! I got a full tank of gas. You got a quarter of a tank left. What you gonna do, player? Huh? It's nothing but space and opportunity. And I would have drove the hell off.
After turning my car off, I opened the door and got out. There was a Target store right by the Chick-fil-A. In fact, their parking lots connected. I figured I could walk in there and maybe lose the guy. I really didn't think he would follow me inside still. But when I started walking to the Target, he got out of his car and started following me.
Are you dead
I made it about halfway through the Target parking lot and then looked behind me and saw the guy was still right there. He was maybe 10 feet away. I was frustrated and really tired of this guy.
Are you dead ass right now? This is a real story. How the hell? Somebody has to notice this shit. Somebody has to notice the fear in her eyes. And a guy talking about down your neck. Oh my God.
I took a few more normal steps and then turned around, and out of nowhere, I sprinted all the way back to my car. I looked behind me to see if the man would sprint as well. He turned around and faced me, but looked confused and did not chase after me. I kept running though. I'm sure if anybody saw me, they thought that I was really weird, but I didn't care. I made it back to my car, started it up, and left. I was able to make it home just fine without being followed. I don't think I have been to that Chick-fil-A ever since. I don't know what that guy's deal was either. How long would he have followed me? And what would he have done?
He probably wanted to ask you how to get to Walmart with his clock ass.
I used to work at a Chick-fil-A. This was about 5 years ago now. One night, I worked until close. We were pretty busy that night, but by the final hour of work, the restaurant was basically empty. All of the customers were in the drive-thru. We had a couple here and there come inside, but not too many. I had been working, taking customers' orders. When it was just about time to close, I got out the mop to clean the floors. This is something that I often did as we were closing. I would clean the dining area and make sure that any customers knew that we were closing, if there were any. There appeared to be nobody in the dining room as I mopped. But then, as I looked around, I thought I saw a man. We had a play place at our location in the back of the dining room area.
Wow.
It looked as though there was a guy hiding in the play place. There was like a toy car that you could go inside, and it was connected at the top of the slides and other things that kids could play on. I could see the man's head looking out from the car window, then he ducked down. I was not happy to see this. As I mopped the floor, I hoped that the guy would leave, but it was clear that he wasn't planning on it. I decided that I would have to go over and tell the man that he had to get out of here. Adults were not supposed to be in the play place, first of all, and second, we were closing. I walked over and into the play place. I couldn't see the man at all now. When I got to the structure, I called out, asking if the guy was okay. I got no answer. I moved back and looked to the window of the toy car again. I saw a man's face briefly appear for just a second. Then, he ducked down and out of sight quickly. I said that we were closing now and everybody had to leave. Still nothing. I wasn't quite sure what to do. I decided to go back and tell my two coworkers who were still here what was going on. When I got back to the front counter area and was walking behind it, I heard some noise. I looked and saw a guy running out of the front door of the restaurant. I was glad to see him leave. I really didn't know what he was doing in there. After that, I finished up mopping the floors. Then I left. As I was walking out to my car, I saw the guy again. He was standing near the building on the end. When I looked in his direction, he quickly moved to around the corner. I left after that. I've always wondered what that man was trying to do, hiding inside. Was he planning to rob the place after we closed? That's my best guess. I also don't know why he was still hanging around afterwards. It was very mysterious.
That's bad stuff. My nose is stuffy. Sorry, my nose is stuffy, so I sound a little weird. But that's mad sus. A grown ass man in a playpen. Well, with where little kids should be at. My question is, how long was he there for? Because he was there. If he was there during operating hours with the little kids, come on now, Jesus, that's crazy. I really hope they clean and sanitize that playground area in these fast food restaurants, because that's disgusting. Like when I go to the mall or when I go to these fast food places, and I see like the playground that they have inside, and I see like the little kids on them, I don't see the kids. I just see germs. diseases, all kinds of shit. It's just nasty. Oh my God. Speaking about malls, next time you're on the escalator, get a wet wipe or a wet napkin or a wet something and hold it on the rail. You'll be surprised how dirty that shit is. But I'm not going to jump to conclusions. Maybe the guy, that grown ass man in a playpen, maybe, he didn't have no place to go. Maybe he needed shelter. Or maybe he was getting one off. Or he could have robbed y'all. It's a lot of things. That I'm not about to figure out. So you can go ahead and transfer me. Oh, I farted, excuse me. But I'm just like, it's kind of almost hard to believe that these horror, like these horror stories is real from Chick-fil-A. Because every time I went to Chick-fil-A, there has been nothing but great, superb, A+, grade A, top tier, top of the line service, environments, customers, employees. But now Chick-fil-A is like the rest of them. God damn. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.